You know, it's a special kind of day when you're reviewing your buddy's first feature film and it happens to be a brand new horror movie hitting theaters, produced by Mike Flanagan. I can't help but be really happy right now. What's going on, everybody? Tom Chattelbash here, and if you love movies and TV like I do, then rest assured you are in the right place. Without further ado, let's review my buddy Chris Stuckmann's first feature film, Shelby Oaks, a new horror film from Neon. Now, Shelby Oaks centers on a woman named Mia, and her little sister has gone missing. She was a part of this YouTube channel that centered on the paranormal called Paranormal Paranoids, and after visiting this haunted site in Shelby Oaks, she goes missing, and Mia is determined to comb over all of this found footage that she has at her disposal, all the evidence, and try to track down her sister for better or worse. Now, I'm going to preface this review by saying it might be just a teeny bit biased because, like I mentioned early on in this review, Chris is a buddy of mine. I've known him since 2009 when he first started making movie reviews. We started making YouTube videos around the same time, and he's such a great guy, passionate guy, loves movies, obviously, and has always wanted to make one of his own. And to see his dream come true on the big screen, I mean, I was so excited for this. I've been waiting and waiting to see this on the big screen, and finally I have. But anyway, I figured I would obviously preface the review by saying that. So take this review, I guess, with a grain of salt, even though I do feel like this is my honest review of this film. Now, my main thought going into Shelby Oaks, especially knowing Chris, was please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't. Because I didn't want to be the person who didn't like my friend's debut feature. But thankfully, Shelby Oaks kind of rules. And look, you can call this review biased all you want. I've actually given you license to do so, but I'm going to tell you why I think this is a really strong debut and why I think Chris is a voice to watch in horror. God, it makes me so happy just saying that out loud. Now, the first thing that really grabbed me when watching Shelby Oaks was the filmmaking. I think this is a really well-made, well-crafted film, really well-directed film. I think Chris did a fantastic job directing this movie. I think there's an amazing sense of atmosphere, especially early on. He utilizes different formats to really pull you in, whether it's found footage or documentary style or just regular narrative filmmaking. It's this mixture, this cocktail of all three of those styles that really makes this a unique horror experience. And I can tell Chris's influences are all over this thing in the best ways possible. I mean, I see shades of James Wan, of M. Night Shyamalan. I see, shades of Blair Witch thrown in there. I mean, I see his influences on full display here, but these aren't just ripoffs. These are loving homages while adding his own signature twist to give himself his own singular voice. And I dug it. And what I love about Chris is since he's seen so many horror films is that he knows how to actually scare you. There actually are some pretty solid jump scares in this thing. You got me, Chris. You got me a couple times. You got me. Where he plays with your expectations. He makes you think that a scare is going to happen this way or something's going to appear there, but then he subverts those expectations. He sidesteps them. And sometimes he builds up to a scare that maybe doesn't happen and it just kind of toys with you a little bit. It's very playful direction, great editing as well, terrific sound design in this thing. I think that's a character in and of itself. And I think the two central performances here from Sarah Dern and Camille Sullivan are really strong. I think Sullivan is phenomenal in this movie. She makes for a really likable protagonist that you can emotionally invest yourself in. I like the fact that the script fleshes out the story of her and her sister leading up to her disappearance and kind of memories from their childhood and makes the relationship feel lived in and authentic to a point where you can kind of emotionally invest yourself in their story, especially as Mia tries to hunt her sister down. But Sullivan really sells every act of desperation, every feeling of fear, every shake, every twitch, every mannerism, every paranoid inclination that she has. It feels so wholly realized here, and I think Sullivan delivers a really, really good performance here. And then you have the story of the film, which definitely feels like this loving melting pot of a bunch of different movies that we've seen before, but I think it's done here in a unique, fresh way that I really enjoyed. I found myself very invested in the story. I found myself locked in the majority of the film. This is a really well-paced movie too. I felt like I was on the edge of my seat throughout, and the central mystery got me. It hooked me. And there are some genuinely great visuals here, some really creepy imagery, some shocking reveals that I think really worked well within the context of the story and in terms of scaring you as an audience member. But my favorite kinds of horror films are the ones that creep you out, that get under your skin, that linger far after you leave the theater. And that's what I really liked about Shelby Oaks, is that, yes, it has some moments where it tries to really make you jump out of your seat, but for the most part, this is a movie that tries to get into your head, crawl under your skin, and I think it's really successful at doing that. And you can tell that Chris, after watching so many films, especially horror films, that he knows his way in here, and I think that he puts that on full display here. Now look, even knowing Chris, knowing him as a buddy of mine, I'm still not going to say this movie was perfect. I do think some of the writing could have been punched up a little bit. There are some moments that I didn't love in terms of the dialogue. I do feel like some of the supporting performances aren't the best, could have been a little bit better. But look, on the whole though, for a debut feature film, he knocked it out of the park. And I think that he is a strong voice in horror and one that I can't wait to watch more and more. And Chris, if you somehow end up watching this review, I just want you to know, man, I am so proud of you. Not that you need me to say that to you, but I'm so proud of you. I'm so prideful in that I know you and that this dream of yours has come true. It made me emotional watching this movie. Seeing your name pop up on screen, seeing that written and directed by Chris Stuckmann on the screen, it made me feel like a little kid. It made me feel so giddy and prideful, and it just, I couldn't be happier for you, buddy. And, you know, even speaking to that even a little bit more, the reason why I was so emotional watching this movie is that, especially when Chris and I first started making videos, obviously he went on to be this gigantic success and he absolutely deserves it. But when we first started making videos, at least there were so many people in my life, at least, that were laughing at the fact that I wanted to make YouTube videos and really explore this and do this, you know, as like a full-time hobby of mine. And I just feel like in the years since, it's like, especially Chris, like he's just kind of proven the naysayers wrong. He drowned out all the noise. I mean, there's been a lot of negative noise surrounding his name within the past several years, which I feel like is so unjustified. But it's just like watching his dream come true, like watching him have this moment. Chris, just watching you have this moment, just it makes me so happy. And also it just kind of like reaffirmed to me that like dreams can come true, as cheesy as that sounds. You put in the work, you put in the dedication, you put in the passion, you know, you get things like this. You get these doors opened and you get to have your moment. And Chris, I hope that you're enjoying this moment and you deserve it, and you deserve many more moments like this. And just thank you for reaffirming that for me, that dreams can come true. I needed that right now, and I needed that right now. So thanks, buddy. And I love you. But anyway, enough of the sappy bullshit. So in the end, I'm going to give Shelby Oaks 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this one, and I think it's a really strong debut. I'm sure there's going to be people out there who enjoy it just as much as I do, and I hope that you do too, and that you check it out and see it in theaters. This movie deserves to be seen in theaters. But yeah, that's my take on the movie. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you check it out this weekend, let me know in the comments what you think of it. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think it's just okay? Let me know down below. And until next time, everybody, I'm Tom Chattelbash, YouTube's most reliable movie critic.